Okay, so you've been there, right? You buy that hair gloss that promises this incredible mirror-like shine, only to find it leaves your hair feeling heavy, maybe a little greasy, and just totally flat. Well, if that's you, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens. It turns out the very science of shine might be what's robbing you of volume.
Yeah, if you've got fine hair, this picture probably hits a little too close to home. On the left, that's the sad reality so many of us face, hair that's just weighed down and lifeless. But on the right, that's the dream, isn't it? Shiny hair that still has all that great body and movement.
So, what gives? What's the big secret? How do you get that amazing shine without sacrificing every last bit of your hair's volume? Well, let's dive right in and figure it out.
All right, so the whole problem really starts with this massive and super common misunderstanding about what hair gloss is actually supposed to do. A lot of us think of it as some kind of super hydrating treatment, but that's not really the whole story.
And you know what? This quote from Ed Sheeran's at Hairbrushy just nails it. A gloss isn't like giving your hair a big drink of water. Nope, it's way more like applying a polish to a piece of wood. It's all about what's happening on the surface.
See, here's how it works. It literally coats each individual strand of your hair with things like silicones or oils. This coating, it fills in all the tiny, rough spots on your hair's surface, making it super smooth so it can reflect light like crazy. But, as we're about to see, that coating is both the hero and the villain in this story.
To really get why this happens, we have to do a quick little science dive into the physics of a single strand of hair. It really is all about that surface. Just picture your hair's outer layer. It's called the cuticle, like shingles on a roof. When those shingles are lying perfectly flat and smooth, they reflect light all in one direction. Bam! You get that mirror-like shine. But when they're raised or damaged, light scatters all over the place, and your hair just looks kinda dull.
Now check this out. Look at the sheer physical difference here. Fine hair is tiny. We're talking around 50 micrometers wide. Thick hair, it's more than double that. And that means fine hair just has way less structural strength, which, you guessed it, is the key to this whole problem.
So, when you add that smoothing gloss coating, you're adding actual physical weight to each strand. Now, a thick, strong strand of hair, it can handle it, no problem. But for a fine strand, that tiny bit of extra weight is literally enough to pull it down and make it collapse against all the others.
And there it is, the big trade-off. It's pretty simple, actually. As you add more gloss, the shine goes up because the surface gets smoother. But at the exact same time, the volume goes down because that added weight is squishing out all the tiny air spaces between each strand that give you that lift and body.
Okay, so with all that in mind, are there times when using a hair gloss is just a complete and total waste of your money? Oh, you better believe it, absolutely.
All right, let's run through a quick checklist. See if any of these sound familiar. If your hair has a lot of structural damage, like split ends, a gloss is just going to be a temporary band-aid. If you have a really oily scalp, the gloss is just going to mix with the oil and look greasy. Same goes for heavy product buildup. And of course, if you have extremely fine hair and volume is your #1 goal, well, a heavy gloss is working directly against you.
And this chart here breaks it down perfectly. See, not all glosses are created equal. You can see that heavy hitter ingredients, like silicones, while they're great for smoothing, can really flatten out fine hair. Oils, they add that shine, but they can reduce lift. But then you have something like glycolic acid. It gives you a lighter smoothing effect with less weight, which could be a much better choice for fine hair.
So how do we get around all this? What's the fix? Well, the good news is you can have both shine and volume. For sure. It just all comes down to your technique.
These are the golden rules for fine hair, and trust me, they're non-negotiable. First, less is always more. We're talking a tiny pea-sized amount. Second, and this is the big one, apply it only to your mid-lengths and ends. You've got to avoid the roots at all costs. And finally, don't overdo it. Once a week is plenty.
This picture shows you the perfect target zone. By keeping that product away from your scalp and the first few inches of hair, you stop that added weight from pulling down your roots. This lets them keep their natural lift and body while the ends of your hair get all that beautiful, reflective shine. It's the best of both worlds.
And you know, that really brings us to the biggest takeaway from all of this. We kind of need to shift our thinking. The ultimate goal isn't just about creating some artificial glass-like shine. It's about having hair that's genuinely healthy and actually has some life to it.
A gloss can only enhance the canvas it's put on. That's it. The real, lasting, beautiful shine that everybody wants, it comes from a healthy, smooth hair cuticle.
The product is just a temporary boost. The real work is in keeping your hair healthy in the first place. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a good, hard look at your routine and ask yourself, are you building a healthy hair structure from the inside out, or are you just chasing a temporary illusion of shine with a coating on the outside? The answer to that question? Well, it could change everything about your hair.